Welcome to Top 15 Discoveries.
Have you ever dreamed of a nation where the mountains touch the clouds, yet its people face the grounding realities of isolation, health struggles, and economic pressures with a resilience that tugs at your heartstrings? Welcome to Lesotho, the kingdom in the sky, where the Basotho endure high-altitude hardships and resource limitations daily, reminding us how human spirit can rise above even the toughest terrains. In this episode of Top 10 Discoveries, we're unveiling the most captivating facts about this enclosed African gem, blending wonder with the poignant truths of life in a land where survival demands unbreakable community bonds. As we embark on these top 10 discoveries, picture the everyday Basotho navigating steep paths just to fetch water or connect with loved ones, challenges that highlight our shared vulnerabilities. And hey, if these revelations spark your curiosity, hit that like button, share your favorite fact in the comments, and subscribe to Top 10 Discoveries for more heartfelt explorations of the world's hidden corners. Number 15. A country within a country and kingdom in the sky. Tucked entirely inside South Africa, Lesotho is the world's only nation completely surrounded by another country, making it a true enclave like a landlocked island in a sea of borders. As one of three such independent states alongside Vatican City and San Marino, it's the largest and the only one outside Europe, with regular winter snowfall, offering a rare African twist for snow sports amid typically warmer surroundings. This isolation brings real struggles, like limited access to markets and healthcare, forcing Basotho to rely on ingenuity and neighborly support to thrive. Spanning about 11,720 square miles, roughly Maryland's size, Lesotho's Maloti Mountains dominate, creating a paradise for hikers and riders, but also amplifying daily efforts in thin air. Dubbed the Kingdom in the Sky, the whole country sits above 4,593 feet, the highest base elevation globally, with averages hitting 7,200 feet, outpacing Denver. Arriving test your mettle, Sani Pass's winding routes demand focus, while Medane Airstrip's short runway at 7,874 feet challenges even seasoned travelers. Newcomers often feel the air's 25% thinness, a subtle nod to the adaptation Basotho master every day. Why maintain independence? It's rooted in historical unity and pride, evading merger through collective strength. As we ascend to societal strengths, reflect on this elevated existence. Have you ever wondered how living so high shapes a community's outlook? In my view, Lesotho's lofty perch and enclosed borders teach us that true freedom comes from within, nurturing bonds that help us weather life's isolating moments. Number 14. Basotho women, society, and evolving customs. Lesotho's 2.3 million people include a slight female majority at 51.1%, empowering women with legal land ownership, a forward step amid broader African challenges, and positioning them as economic drivers in bustling markets selling produce, crafts, and iconic blankets. Their remarkable ability to balance heavy water loads on heads over miles speaks to grace born from necessity, highlighting water access issues that Basotho women tackle with quiet determination. Yet society grapples with traditions like choboliso, an old custom of symbolic bride capture to spark marriages, now waning under advocacy for consent-based unions, reflecting shifts toward equality. Women also shine in health burdens, like high HIV rates affecting communities, where their resilience and caregiving inspires. Let's weave in a touching real-life tale. Take Mamaho, a young Basotho woman interviewed by African Clean Energy, who juggles household duties with dreams of education, turning daily water hauls into motivation for her studies, showing how ambition blooms amid responsibility. Shifting to global ties and traditions, Consider these women's roles. What inspires you about women's strength in tough settings? Number 13, twin nation bonds and communal beer rituals. Imagine misty Wales linking with sunny Lesotho, two hilly realms where daily hill climbs rival San Francisco's, and languages puzzle outsiders with Welsh's consonants and Sesotho's clicks. Twinned since 1985 as the first such countries, this partnership sparks school exchanges for over 130 institutions and healthcare training, crucial in Lesotho, where doctor shortages strain families facing illnesses like HIV. Complementing this is Jola beer culture, a sour, low-alcohol corn sorghum brew shared from wooden bowls by hand or ladle, symbolizing unity in rural areas where isolation could divide. It's a ritual fostering stories and support, countering economic pressures. As we slide to unexpected winter fun, think on these connections. How do shared rituals build bridges in your life? From my perspective, Lesotho's international twins and beer sharing remind us that in facing health and distance hurdles, reaching out, literally or figuratively, creates lifelines of hope. Number 12, skiing in Africa and ancient cave living. Defying Africa's heat stereotype, Lesotho's highlands drop below 14 degrees in winter, blanketing 10,500-foot peaks with snow for genuine skiing at a frisky resort. The southern hemisphere is only in Africa, at 10,570 feet, with beginner lessons turning novices into enthusiasts from June to August. This temperate climate contrasts the continent, offering European-like scenes right in southern Africa. Echoing this uniqueness are Berea's 200-year-old comb caves, mud beehive homes built by Chief Telesbasha clan for shelter, now housing fourth-generation families with natural insulation against extremes. Tourists experience this heritage, blending past and present. For a humorous local yarn, picture bus rides where fares pass hand to hand in unshakable trust, as shared by travelers. Bumpy roads aside, no coin goes astray, lightening the load of daily commutes with innate Basotho honesty. Transitioning to sparkling resources, ponder these contrasts. Ever found joy in an unexpected snowy adventure? Number 11, sky-high diamonds. At over 10,000 feet, Letsing Mine, the globe's highest diamond operation, produces premium gems, fetching top carat prices and unearthing 3 of the 20 largest white diamonds, like the 603-carat Lesotho Promise in 2006. With 70% private shares and 30% government, it bolsters economy via Antwerp auctions, amid 33 kimberlite veins, 24 diamond-rich, the world's densest. This wealth aids against poverty, funding water projects in a land exporting H2O despite shortages. Here's an inspirational gem. Though specific miner tales are rare, stories like those of resilient Basotho workers at Letsing, as noted in mining reports, show families lifting from hardship through steady jobs, turning underground toil into above-ground dreams for education. Moving to traditional symbols, reflect on buried treasures. What natural gift would transform your community? Personally, Lesotho's diamonds and cave legacies illustrate that beneath surface struggles lie valuables waiting to be unearthed, encouraging us to dig deep in our own lives. Number 10, blankets as fashion and horseback markets. Basotho blankets aren't mere covers, they're status emblems. Sienna Marin for leaders, Malela for maturity rites, woven into identity, and even inspiring Louis Vuitton's 2017 line, or Black Panther's Warriors. In a society valuing symbols amid social layers, they provide warmth and dignity. Markets amplify this. Weekly gatherings see goods hauled by horse or donkey to mountain spots, bartering corn for shoes or goats for clothes in cash-scarce areas, fostering fair trades that ease economic strains. As we explore travel highlights, muse on these customs. How does clothing tell your story? Number 9. Travel paradise and vibrant festivals. Lesotho's untouched beauty shines at Mletsenyen Falls, Africa's highest single drop at 630 feet, ideal for ziplines evoking flight. Ani Pass reaches 9,436 feet to the continent's highest pub, perfect for off-road thrills and views. Taba Boshu Village honors King Moshosha with stone huts and trails, immersing in Basotho life. The Morija Arts Festival adds color. Annual in historic Morija, it draws thousands for dances, Afro jazz, and traditional attire like Mokra Lahats, where Basotho women's graceful moves captivate. A real poetic reflection from Michael Dickel, a festival attendee, recounts losing himself in rhythms and connections, turning a visit into a soul-stirring bond with locals' joyful energy despite daily hardships. Heading to ancient wonders, envision this vibe. What festival memory lingers with you? In contemplating Lesotho's paradises and festive spirits, I see how nature and culture offer escapes, reminding us to celebrate amid life's rugged climbs. Number 8. Archaeological Wonders. Maseru holds one of the world's largest dinosaur footprints from Kayantapus ambracolahaley, a 30-foot Jurassic giant, big as a double-decker bus, discovered in 2016's Roma Valley, with smaller theropod marks, published in PLOS 1. Early explorers mistook them for myths, now revealing prehistoric secrets. This echoes Lesotho's layered history, where past traces inspire amid modern challenges. As we taste local flavors, wonder at these prints, what ancient find sparks your imagination? Number 7. Culinary Delights. Papa, a thick corn porridge like polenta, comforts with morojo greens and stewed meats on chilly days. Nama grills lamb over coals for festive scents, while bobodi, cast-iron baked bread, pairs crisply with curries, nourishing in resource-limited homes. These simple meals highlight self-sufficiency. Wrapping to costs, savor this. What's a dish that grounds you? From my heart, Lesotho's foods and fossils teach that sustenance, physical or historical, fuels resilience, urging us to cherish roots in uncertain times. Number 6. Affordable living amid challenges. Lesotho's costs ease budgets. Maseru 1 bedrooms rent $250–400 monthly. 3 bedrooms, $500–700, far below U.S. cities. Meals run $3–5 casually, $15–25 upscale, utilities $50–80, internet $40–60 via hydropower. Transport, 50-cent buses, $1.20 forward/liter gas. Singles live on $601,000, families $1,202,000, stretching resources in a high HIV-impacted nation. We've traversed top 10 discoveries in Lesotho where realities forge enduring spirits. On Top 10 Discoveries, these tales touch the human core. What moves you most? Comment below. Personally, this affordability amid trials shows that modest means can yield rich lives, inspiring us to find contentment in simplicity. Number 5. Economic Challenges and Resilience in 2025. In 2025, Lesotho declared a 2-year national state of disaster amid soaring youth unemployment and massive job losses, triggered by U.S. tariffs under President Trump that threatened the textile industry, a lifeline exporting garments duty-free under AGOA. With uncertainty over these tariffs, potentially imposing 50% duties due to Lesotho's trade surplus with the U.S., the economy faces a slowdown, as per the IMF's July 2020 Chronicle IV consultation, projecting growth at just 1.4%, nearly halved from prior years. This follows a decade of unstable expansion, with fiscal pressures from declining SACU revenues and high public debt at 55% of GDP, forcing tough choices like wage bill controls and subsidy reforms to sustain social programs. Yet, amid these shadows, Basotho resilience shines through innovative responses, such as government appeals for international aid and domestic diversification into agriculture and tourism. The World Bank's 2025 Economic Update highlights opportunities in fiscal transformation for inclusive growth, emphasizing investments in human capital to combat poverty affecting 50% of the population. A poignant local story emerges from Mamoyapone, a Maseru factory worker laid off in early 2025, who pivoted to a community cooperative farming herbs for export, turning personal setback into group empowerment and even humorously quipping during a BBC interview. "We Basotho weave more than blankets. We weave hope from threads of hardship." Her tale underscores how economic blows hit hardest at family levels, where parents skip meals to educate children, yet foster unbreakable bonds. As we transition to sustainable energy strides, reflect on these fiscal trials. How do global events like tariffs affect your own community stability? From my viewpoint, Lesotho's 2025 economic woes remind us that in the face of external shocks, nurturing local innovation and solidarity can transform vulnerability into a foundation for lasting prosperity, urging us to support one another through uncertain times. Number 4. Renewable energy initiatives powering forward. Lesotho's push toward green energy in 25 marks a beacon of hope against climate vulnerabilities and energy poverty, where over 70% of rural households lack reliable electricity. The Lesotho Solar Power Station, set to deliver 70 MW by early 2025, exemplifies this shift, harnessing abundant sunshine to reduce overpowered power from South Africa and create jobs in construction and maintenance. This aligns with the UNU-hosted symposium in July 2025, which explored innovative financing for clean transitions in landlocked nations, emphasizing solar and hydro synergies to achieve universal access by 2030. Government initiatives, like the June 2025 launch of electric vehicles, EVs, by Minister Letsema Adonsi, introduce sustainable transport, with pilot programs in Maseru cutting emissions and fuel costs for commuters facing rising petrol prices. The African Development Bank's support for water and energy projects aims at universal clean water by end 2025, integrating renewables to combat droughts exacerbated by climate change. A heartwarming anecdote comes from Tabiso, a young engineer from Lirby featured in local media, who returned from studies abroad to install solar panels in his village school, jokingly calling it lighting up minds before the bulbs, but deeply moving as it enabled evening classes for 200 children, bridging education gaps in power-scarce areas. These efforts counter environmental degradation, like soil erosion affecting 80% of arable land, by promoting eco-friendly practices. Shifting to health sector updates, consider this green momentum. What renewable step could brighten your daily life? Personally, Lesotho's 2025 energy innovations teach that amid resource scarcity, harnessing nature's gifts with community drive can illuminate paths out of darkness, inspiring us to embrace sustainable changes for brighter futures. Number 3, health advancements amid ongoing struggles. In 2025, Lesotho's health landscape blends progress with setbacks. As the nation battles high HIV prevalence, around 23%, and emerging threats like parasitic worms, while advancing digital tools. The validation of the Digital Health Strategy 2025 to 2030 in early year leverages tech for remote monitoring and data analytics, improving care delivery in remote highlands where access remains a daily hurdle. WHO supported mass deworming campaigns in June 2025, targeted schoolchildren in Laribi, addressing infections, nutrition and growth for thousands, fostering healthier generations. However, U.S. aid suspensions under PP4 led to 1,500 health workers being sent home in February 2025, risking reversals in HIV treatment for 240,000 patients and straining a system with doctor shortages. Gavi's resumption of direct funding in May 2025 bolsters vaccinations, but funding cuts highlight vulnerabilities in a country where non-communicable diseases rise alongside infectious ones. An emotional real-life account is from Nurse Mapalesa in a ground-up report, who after losing her job volunteered in her village clinic, sharing tearful yet uplifting stories of saving a child's life with improvised care, humorously adding, "We heal with hearts when hands are tied," touching on the raw dedication amid resource gaps. These dynamics reflect broader STEG efforts in the 2025 Voluntary National Review, prioritizing health equity. As we move to youth education, ponder these battles. How has a health challenge strengthened your community? In reflecting on Lesotho's health journey this year, I find a vital message. Even when systems falter, individual compassion and innovation can sustain hope, encouraging us to advocate for equitable care in our own circles. Number 2, youth empowerment and education reforms. Lesotho's youth, comprising over 60% of the population, face unemployment rates nearing 40% in 2025, yet empowering programs ignite change through education and skills. The World Bank's July 2025 feature on tech-integrated learning and youth clubs has transformed education for 50,000 students, using digital tools and retention strategies to combat dropout rates in rural areas plagued by poverty. UNICEF's Youth Power Hub Incubation Program, ongoing in 2025, equips young leaders with policy-shaping skills, as seen in April's intergenerational dialogues fostering reforms. The Prime Minister's Youth Apprenticeship Program, YAP, places graduates in work experiences, bridging gaps for non-graduates too, while a landmark youth-led education reform dialogue in July 2025 at Victory Hall proposed innovative curricula emphasizing STEM and life skills. A touching story is of Lorado, a 19-year-old from a UNESCO report, who, through school tree planting clubs, not only greened her community but channeled environmental passion into a youth advocacy group, lightheartedly joking in interviews. "We plant seeds of change, hoping they grow taller than our mountains, but profoundly moving as it helped her overcome family hardships to pursue higher studies." These initiatives counter brain drain and social issues, aligning with Erasmus capacity building for sub-Saharan youth. Transitioning to conservation efforts, think on youth's role. What program empowered you in your youth? From my heart, Lesotho's 2025 youth programs remind us that investing in the next generation amid adversity builds resilient societies, urging us to mentor and uplift those navigating life's early climbs. Number 1. Environmental conservation and climate action. Amid escalating climate impacts like early 2025 snowfalls and droughts, Lesotho's environmental initiatives in 2025 emphasize conservation to protect fragile highlands. UNESCO's Act 4 Climate Change program empowered 52 schools to plant trees, improving food and water security for over 50,000 students by April, combating soil erosion that threatens livelihoods. The government's acceptance of WTO Fisheries Subsidies Agreement in May 2025 safeguards aquatic ecosystems, while the Lesotho Climate Change Portal's March event at Ha Maruthan rallied communities for greener futures. Electric vehicle adoption and the UNU Symposium in July 2025 spotlight clean energy financing, addressing migration driven by environmental shifts as per IOM reports. A whimsical yet inspiring tale is from farmer Nate Kotso in Medium, who turned drought-hit land into a community garden with rainwater harvesting, quipping, "We dance for rain, but now we save every drop like treasure," evoking laughter and tears as it revived his village's food supply, symbolizing adaptation's triumphs over loss. These actions renew pledges in the 2025 Winner for SDGs, focusing on leaving no one behind. As we conclude these additions to Top 15 Discoveries, reflect on eco-efforts. How can small green acts change your world? Personally, Lesotho's conservation strides this year illustrate that in confronting nature's harsh truths, collaborative stewardship heals both land and spirits, motivating us to act mindfully for our shared planet.